Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the Del Pratt family. Right now, today I'll be bringing you through 10 easy steps to creating a successful Airbnb listing. All right. Now, many subscribers have been asking for tips on how to create a successful Airbnb business, and so I'll be helping you guys out today. Feel free to be a patron. Right? If you have any queries, any questions, you want further direction as it relates to creating an Airbnb listing or to be a successful host, you can always hit us up on Patreon. All right, the link will be in the description. The first step before you even create a listing is to actually do a market assessment. Now, your market assessment would be to do a search of similar listings to the one that you are looking to create in your area, right? Look at their pricing, look at their offerings, and also importantly, looking at like how well are they booked. So you would perhaps select 10 of the best listings in your area, the best rated ones, mind you, and you just run through their calendar for like say 30 to 60 days and see how well are they booked. For me, the ideal would be the first 30 days, 20 of the nights are booked on average, and then when you move out to the other month, like half the month is already booked. This will give you a good idea as to the demand for Airbnb listings in your area. All right. This point is a good indication, but is not the limiting factor or the be it all and end it all. There are areas that might have the potential for Airbnb, but maybe other persons haven't gotten around to actually creating an Airbnb listing just yet. So again, doing your market study, that's the best way to start. Step number 2 would be to assessing the profitability of an Airbnb listing. So if you already have your property, right, you would then look to see the amount of expenditure it would be to put in to get the Airbnb listing up and running, like to furnish it, to purchase decor items and other amenities that the basic amenities to actually run your Airbnb. And then you would then calculate your nightly listing rate over the month, and then to see if it is actually feasible for you. So you actually do what we call a feasibility study. Step number 3 would be to become a more frequent traveler. This step will aid you greatly, right? Because of course the Airbnb business is actually highly customer service based. So with your travel experience, you will then have a good feel of your likes, your dislikes, what you would like to improve upon. And then with this experience, you could take it to your own Airbnb business and impart those things that you like, omit those things that you do not like, and of course look to add to your offerings and to just bring other things that you feel would be necessary that perhaps other persons aren't doing at the moment. Step number 4 would be to create an Airbnb listing for yourself. So the Airbnb app is very intuitive, right? And of course, at this step, you are not actually publishing your listing. You are just there going through the motion just to feel the app out, to see what it is like, because in the end, you will be publishing your listing. So you want to have a good understanding of the app to know also the list of amenities that are necessary, so you can produce a very good listing in the end. So Airbnb is set up in such a way that the more amenities you provide for your guests is the higher up in search you will rank, which will mean that more visibility and in the end more likelihood for guests to actually book your listing. So on this listing that you've created, you have to be very descriptive. So you have to tell the people about the area that you are actually hosting, what attractions are in and around the area, right? What attractions are at your listing. So whether it be a swimming pool, whether it be a lush lawn, a beautiful backyard, a barbecue around the back, whatever it might be, that will attract more guests, you have to put that into your description. If your listing is 15 minutes from the airport, this is a good selling point, and of course you should add that to your listing as well. This description is there to actually sell your property more to your potential customers. So now that you have gone through the list of amenities that Airbnb requires of you, so it's now to implement these amenities. So basically you want to implement, at least for starters, the minimum amenities in order to produce a successful listing. And then as your earnings come, then you can use this money to invest back in your business to improve upon the amenities that you currently offer, so your business can continue to grow. Step number 6, right? So you have acquired your property, you have basically furnished it, you have fitted it with all the amenities that you need to host a stay, right? The next step now is to take good quality photos. Proper photos is the number one thing in Airbnb, especially for a new listing. Alright? So you have a new listing, you have no reviews at all. One of the main things that would sell your listing are good photos. And hence, it is highly suggested that you really invest in a good photographer to take some quality shots. And actually we did a video previously about hiring a photographer for an Airbnb shoot, so you could definitely check the info card, right? We will definitely attach that video there so you can have a look. Alright, so I mean generally in business, if you're offering goods or services, it's always key to have high quality photos, because these are actually what sell your product. So you've taken your photos, right? So you're basically almost ready to host your first guest. One of the key things in hosting guests is to ensure that your guests have a great experience when staying at your property. So basically you have to run through your property to ensure that everything works. Alright, ensure that all the lights work, all the switches work, everything that's in the listing, everything that's a part of the property, ensure that they work. These things will affect the reviews that you get, because you want to provide a property that is well maintained, and this will reflect positively on you, so your guests will feel happy that you actually did put in a lot of work in your property, so they will be happy as well to leave a very good review for you. You've taken your photos, you've run through your property to ensure that everything works, so it's now basically time to post your listing. But of course, before that you have to set your pricing. Alright, but seeing that you're new to the Airbnb platform, and there are many other listings already out there ahead of you, it is wise to actually look to set your pricing just below what they currently offer, because these people are already on the platform with many reviews. Alright, so if you are new to the platform and you publish a listing that are like same pricing to somebody else who has like 20 reviews with 5-star, most guests would prefer to book with those people. So my suggestion is to set your pricing below, so at least that's a selling point. So you might have people booking your listing first over other listing that might be there for a longer time, just because you are offering a more affordable listing, seemingly of similar quality. So you set your pricing, you publish your photo, so you're now ready to accept guests. Alright, so after your listing is published, guests will be contacting you about your space. It is important for you to provide excellent customer service. Be prompt with responses. Whenever guests message you, you be very prompt. You respond quickly to them. You answer their queries in a timely manner, because this is a part of the customer experience. So if you actually giving them a good feedback just by you communicated with them on the app, they will be confident to actually book in your listing. So then you now have basically your first guest. But another key feature for a successful Airbnb listing is the check-in process. Now, as a traveler, you don't want to to be traveling to a place and when you arrive, you have no way to get in the property. This is a nightmare for any traveler, right? We actually traveled before in America, and we booked a space, and while we were on our way to the Airbnb, we were calling the host without response. But luckily there were directions in the app that we followed, and we did arrive at the location, and during that time he was able to reach out to us and direct us in the property. But it was really scary for us to be traveling in a place that we are not sure about, and the guest is not reaching out. So to spare this kind of trouble for your guests, it is important that you have streamlined a very good check-in system. Alright, so beforehand you will communicate with your guests, telling them how to get to the apartment. Let them know if you provided them with a lockbox for the key, you have electronic check-in, or if you are going to actually check them in person, to ensure that you are always responsive and you ensure that you are there whenever the guests arrive. You do not want your guests to arrive and you are not there to welcome them. This is a big turn off, and guests will leave bad reviews because of this. The last thing on our list, but definitely not least, is house rules. You have to actually set house rules for your guests so they know what they are getting into, and you too can have those ground rules so that you can be comfortable in hosting your listing, right? It makes no sense to not state your rules up front to have guests come and then you are uncomfortable. It will not be worth it for you. So if it's no smoking, please, it's best to state that. Or if it's you don't want any parties at your premises, you can state it, right? So it's best to not having troublesome guests than having guests that come cause problem for you or maybe neighbors, and then you are left with the damages thereafter. All right, so those are the 10 easy steps to creating a successful Airbnb listing. If you want to contact us, feel free to hit us up on Patreon, right? A link is in the description, right? So you can definitely get some one-on-one tips on how to create your listing if you still have further queries. Remember to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Alright guys, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to our channel as yet. Alright, thank you guys, see you again for another video.